You're very welcome back. Bloody hell, these people make me sick, all these things. He's won 5 All-Ireland titles, just the 5, 3 league titles, 10 Munster titles, 1 Munster Club title, 3 All-Stars awards, and named as a Player of the Year in 2007.
That's just to name a few of the things that this fella has done. You're doing all right yourself. Kerry legend Marc Ó Sé. Hello, how are you?
Good morning.
Nice to see
Nice
you.
to be here.
It's when you're listing accolades like that. He was just sitting here and he went like that back in his
Embarrassing,
seat.
isn't it? You actually missed about the couple of the other their medals I've got.
It's pretty, like, in a really illustrious career with everything that you've done. When you list the things out like that, everything, like, it must be like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to play with the team for 16 years, and we had good days. And like, it's funny when you list out, say, winning 5 All-Irelands. A lot of people don't know I actually lost 5 All-Irelands as well. So I had a lot of bad days out at the office. And it's funny when you think about the good days, but those bad days out actually propelled you on to probably win the following year, because we lost 0-3, we won 0-4, lost 0-8, won 0-9. So often when you lost, it kind of maybe drove you on to win the following year.
Again.
I'm reading this here. Bernard Brogan has given you a little tip off. Dublin v Kerry was always special, and this book brought back great memories of battles with my fiercest opponent on the pitch and friend off it. You had the launch of the new book there recently. Jim Gavin there was there yesterday as well.
There, yeah.
A Dublin man turning up to the Kerry man's launch as well.
Yeah.
The GAA stick together.
We do, yeah. Jim has done great work with the committee that was formed, the FRC, and I think the new game has been just amazing. And he brought great people in with him, the likes of Eamon Fitzmaurice and these guys, Michael Murphy. And I think the game is fantastic now, Tommy. The way it's it's a breath of fresh air. This year was outstanding, fantastic. I think. And look, he's done good work, and it was nice to see him at the launch on Thursday night.
Well, yeah, he's like, good to get him in. Obviously, this year, when Kerry won, there was an awful lot of points made by the team that we are more than just the Clifford brothers, which we definitely saw in this year's campaign. It was what a team. Oh, yeah. But it was, there's so much pressure on them. We're here as well to help them, whatever, right? Being part of the Ó Sé dynasty.
Yeah.
What did that alleviate the pressure that the focus was kind of on a lot of ye rather than just one or two of ye?
I think growing up, we definitely had the just work hard, that sense of just work hard. And I think Páidí probably instilled it into us more than anyone else. And the fact that he was manager then, it was probably more difficult to make the team, because always like nepotism was thrown out, that you had to, earn your place in the team. So when I got on in 2002, that was definitely one of the things where I really had to work hard to try and get onto the team to justify my selection. For one, for another, so it was, but yeah, it was tough going, and you had to make sure every day that you went out, you were trying to do the best, but...
Because Tomas and Dara would already have been on,
well,
would they?
Well, Dara was on in 97,
yeah.
And then Tomas was there in 2000, and I got in 2002, but the boys would have been physically more developed than I was when I started off, and like strength and conditioning wasn't really there at the time, and like... When I got in, then I think he was actually an IRFU guy, Kevin Craddock. He worked hard, with the dietitian and the whole lot, and the strength and conditioning definitely came in after that. And
how did you find the pressure growing up? But like with yourself, with Dara, Tomas, obviously your uncle Paul. Listen. As the youngest, you must have had always people coming up to you. Oh, what are you going to be like?
I was tough, Tommy. It was tough.
I'd say
because
the pressure is difficult.
It was because, say, when I started off, my uncle Tom, and he God be good to him, he used to always boast that he was the only Ó Sé who would have won an All-Ireland minor title. And Páidí played 3 years for the Kerry Minors, and Ferguson was captain of the Kerry Minors. Dara was a Kerry Minor. Tomas was 2 years a Kerry Minor. So I remember the first night the Kerry Minors selection team was picked, and I wasn't on the team, I was a sub. And I drove home that night, and I was crying the whole way home because I felt I left the family down. But got in for the replay, and thankfully didn't look back since. But there was pressure. Yeah. There definitely was pressure, and I always felt that, probably until I won my first All-Ireland in 2004, that pressure was always there.
There's an incident that you talk about. I think an awful lot of people will remember. This was in 2009. You talk about a disciplinary incident which led to Colm Cooper, the Gooch, and your brother Tomas getting dropped, and you say, "Sure, I got away with it." What happened?
Yeah, not something you'd be boasting about. Yeah, there was a buddy of ours got married, and I remember I was taken off against Sligo, and I wasn't too happy, and we went back to the wedding, and sure, of course, had one or two, you know yourself, and before you know it, the following day, there's the phone ringing, and Jack is ringing you. Were you out? No. So we got away with that one.
You lied to Jack O'Connor.
Soup and sandwich. What's this about?
Oh, the soup and the sandwich, yeah. So I think the boys kind of got wind that I was having a few, Tommy, and I said, geez, no, I was inside having a soup and a sandwich. So that became the joke at the time then.
So we're talking about how to lie here.
Yeah.
How to get away with something. Soup and a sandwich is the way forward.
Yeah. But got away with it anyway.
You got away with it.
I did.
The lads didn't.
The boys didn't.
They couldn't lie enough to Jack O'Connor. I can't imagine. What's that like, lying to Jack O'Connor?
Oh, geez, you know what? Before I knew it, I was in it, and then I couldn't get out of it. So I had to stick with it then, you know. So not one of my proudest moments now, I can
when
say.
the two lads get dropped, and this became a big incident.
It did.
Big deal, yeah.
And then, of course, you were there with them, but kept the head down.
Yeah,
like, surely
and
the
then-
dressing room, everyone knew.
Well, they didn't really, Tommy. They didn't. That was the thing, you see. So they didn't. But anyway, we won the All-Ireland that year. So thankfully, it finished well.
You've decided, you've been gone 9 years.
Yeah.
9 years. I can't believe you're gone 9 years, Mark. Why did you decide to write a book now?
I was asked to write one when I retired, and I felt maybe it was a bit too raw, too close to the. And I got advice, and maybe leave it for a while. And then Trevor Twamley from Sports and Darce, he suggested maybe writing one last year. And I wanted kind of maybe to talk about maybe my family and that, and I suppose the history of our family and all of that, and also where I come from. The Wild Atlantic Way, West Kerry. It's not just about football. It's it's about music. It's about the Irish language. It's about West Kerry, the Gaeltacht, where I grew up. And I think that definitely, shaped the way I became, and I think that's very much evident in the book as you read it.
You're very honest as well about even losing your dad as well. Around that Munster, was a replay against Cork 2002 as well. Like, to go back and look at those times, and you and your brothers having to decide whether to go back out and play or not.
Yeah.
You're talking to your mum about it.
Yeah, it was tough.
Difficult to recount those days.
It was, yeah, because I used to go to the games with my dad, especially when Darren Tomas were playing, and he used to get so nervous at the games, and then I remember my brother Fergal telling the story when the three of us were playing, and he was sitting next to my dad, and anytime any of us got the ball, he was just such a bag of nerves. And we played against Cork on the Sunday, and he passed away on the Tuesday. And then, he was buried on the Thursday, and you're playing the replay again on the Saturday. So that was tough. And
even there was that controversy whether the game should have went ahead again, and Kerry said they needed to play it.
But look, Páidí was manager. Dara, myself and Tomas were playing, and we made a decision that we were going to play, And I think my dad would have liked that, and we did. We lost the game, actually, but went on, beat Cork in the semi-final afterwards. But yeah, it was a tough time. But you know what? Football, I think, got us through all of that, And I suppose the brothers and family, we rallied around each other and got through it in the end.
It's kind of an amazing community, in Dangannicushin, and even when you go out towards the peninsula where you are, I suppose if you're out there and you don't go to Páidí Ó Sé's bar, what are you actually doing with your life? Like, some of the stories that you have, because he's such a legend. Like, we all know Dolly Parton singing away in the pub and all that. What was it like? Like, your grandmother had a shrine to Páidí, did she?
She did, yeah, she did. Oh, look, it was amazing. I mean, growing up that time, you'd say West Kerry, a rural area, but with Páidí, there was always somebody calling, be it Martin Sheen or Tom Cruise or whoever it was. There was always, and he was larger than life, Páidí was. He was always... If he wasn't up in Dublin meeting celebrities, he was just one of these fellas who was...
He would have made a great president. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
He really was.
Yeah, he was great fun. And, we were very proud of him, to be totally honest with you. And, there was always a story with him. Like, it was never boring anyway, that's for sure.
When you met Marc Sheen, Tom Cruise, tell us the story about meeting Alex Ferguson.
We went over to Old Trafford. We thought we were going to a game, and it was to Alex Ferguson's wife's charity gig, and so we actually ended up getting a private plane from Kerry Airport. Like, I mean, you couldn't make it up.
Go on, far and four.
Yeah, and Páidí, of course, he forgot his dicky bow, and he was trying to get the dicky bow off me and off Tomas and off Dara. None of us had given the dicky bow, and so eventually, anyway, we get over to the do in Old Trafford. It was on in Old Trafford, and Alex Ferguson was there, and Páidí pulls out his book from his jacket, and he says, "There you go, Alex, give that a read, you might learn something." So, like, you couldn't make it up. Great character.
But that's, you know, characters are what it's all about, I think, as well. You know, we're talking about a game that we talk about it all the time. It's an amateur game played in a professional way. Like, looking from the outside in now with, you know, you're obviously still involved, but, you know, you're not playing at the highest level anymore. Do you still think that people get to have a bit of the crack, or is it just so serious now?
Well, it is. It's changed, I think. The game has definitely changed. I could see that when I was retiring. You know, there was that professionalism was coming into it at the time. You know, and that sports science, all of that was new. But yeah, it's a different game now. But it's still, I still think you play it to enjoy it. You know, I think that's what we do, and I think that will continue. I think, you know, you play the game of football because you love it, and you just watching the young boys and girls growing up in Kerry, my own small fella Tig and Alice, and hopefully Tommy as well. They love playing football and they enjoy it, you know, and that's what it's about, just the enjoyment.
Well, the Ó Sé dynasty is continuing on, whether it be on the pitch or coaching. There's talk of you maybe taking over the minors, Kerry minors?
Well, I don't know, Tommy. I expressed an interest in the job, so we'll see where that takes me. There's nothing set in concrete yet, but I would love to in some capacity. You know, but look, we'll see.
Okay.
Time will tell.
Time will take us. Tomas is with the under-20s, and your advice to any of the minors: just lie and say you had soup and a sandwich too. Is that what we do?
That's it, Myrne, yeah.
That's it. Love it. Soup and a sandwich, lads. That's all that you had.
Listen, congratulations.
Thanks,
on
Tommy.
the book. It's great, honestly. Ó Sé, and that's what the big thing about it. It's not just about you, it's about the family and everything else down in West.
Brilliant.
Thanks, Myrne.
Kerry as well.
Fabulous.
Marc
Thanks so
Ó Sé,
much,
top
Marc.
man.